Denise Gwen, reading aloud for you from my novella Goddess, Chapter 47. As they skimmed along the airstreams and zipped and bobbed and weaved, Maddie looked up at one point to smile at Lady Venus, but the look of sadness on her face made her start. "What's wrong?" "I'm hesitant to tell you. I was hoping you hadn't noticed." "Noticed what? You didn't feel it?" "Feel what?" And then it hit her. "Oh, wait, yes. They pulled out the tube." "I'm so relieved, Lady Venus. I can breathe so much better." A tiny thread of fear etched across her heart as Lady Venus gazed at her with deep sadness. And Maddie realized that whatever she'd experienced hadn't been a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Something was wrong. "Your corporal body." Oh. And then the realization hit her like a stone. "I'm in the ICU, and my condition is deteriorating." That's why the medical staff pulled out the intubation tube. The doctor had told her husband that the situation was hopeless, and he'd authorized the medical staff to withdraw artificial means of support. I died that quickly. Oh, how sad. A cold, hard dread settled in her stomach like a stone. She'd mistakenly attributed the removal of the tube as a good sign, while in reality it signified something terrible. I'm dying. And she ought to have recognized the terminology, for it was the exact wording used in her father's medical records when she reviewed them after his death. His original diagnosis was pneumonia, but the doctors quickly realized that it was far more serious than pneumonia. He needed to have his gallbladder removed, or he would die. Her mother approved the surgery, which lasted many hours. After the surgery, he was taken directly to the ICU. He stayed there for 2 weeks, strapped up to machines and with tubes and hoses and wires streaming in and out of his body, fighting for his life. In the early hours of morning on August 30th, the nursing staff noticed that his condition had begun to deteriorate. Death came quickly for her father, and she wondered. She wanted to be assured that she'd survived the night, but she also sensed that Lady Venus could tell what was really happening to her. She hated to ask, yet she needed to know. "Lady Venus?" "Yes, Maddie." "Am I dying?" Lady Venus hesitated, then said, "No. I'm still alive?" "In a manner of speaking, yes." Her heart sick with despair, she found the words to speak the awful thing she did not want to accept. "Will I die tonight?" Lady Venus's answer chilled her. "I'm not sure, Maddie." "Oh." Lady Venus squeezed Maddie's arm. "A lot of things need to happen tonight, and everything's moving along smoothly, but we're pressing up against the time remaining." Time remaining? Till I die? Or till morning and then I'll die? Lady Venus said nothing. What will happen if I don't make it back in time? Let's not borrow trouble, Lady Venus said uneasily. What's going on with me, with my body, back in Bloomington? Lady Venus furrowed her brow. Well, as you know, they removed the intubation tube and they've moved you to the medical ICU. Medical ICU as opposed to surgical. Oh, I see. Her heart shuddered. That's how specialized an intensive care unit was. One unit for post-surgery patients, the other for medical issues. You're in a coma, Lady Venus said at last. Oh. You already know this, and they've removed the intubation. Yes, my throat is sore, and you're on oxygen, and you're on life support. Maddie lowered her head, and the tears crept down her cheeks. Oh, no. Yes, my love, I'm so sorry. Maddie didn't know what to say or do. It was all such a hopeless muddle, wasn't it? She'd lost her father 15 years earlier and her mother just yesterday. No matter how she looked at it, no matter what she thought or did, she no longer controlled her life. And yet, when had her life ever truly been under her control? Your husband and your daughter are sitting at your bedside, Lady Venus said. Your son is on his way to the hospital from Cincinnati. Oh, goddess, no. I'm sorry, Madeline. Maddie could almost see her son in her mind's eye. At this very moment, as she was flying high up in the air toward Cincinnati, her son was down below, driving westbound toward Bloomington. If she were to look down and search for his bright white car, she might espy him as he drove through the dark night. Her poor son. Such a good, kind young man. He'd worked all day long at his job and had returned home, and Maddie's husband had called to tell him the bad news, and he jumped into his car and just started driving. She wondered what he was thinking, what he was feeling. She longed to talk to him, to assure him, to tell him that everything was going to be all right, that she loved him, and that nothing else mattered.